Hey YouTube, this is Rack60 here with the modded Psvita. I have changed a few things since last video. I think both motors weren't acting right, and they still aren't, so I may need to replace one of the motors. But as far as changes as far as changes go, I swapped out a few parts because I was testing out a few things like LED mods and stuff like that, and I messed it up, so I just kept a few of the original parts in here still. Um, what else I was gonna say? I didn't like the vibration of the motors against the casing because it seemed like it was rattling around too much stuff inside. So I put like a kind of somewhat thin layer of hot glue between the casing and the motors, and set that down within the cuts I made in the back casing, so that way it kind of floats in between both layers, like between the casing and this part, like the front display. And as far as all I did with the motors, like they're still the same or anything like that. As far as battery goes, I haven't really noticed too big of a difference as far as like draining the battery, but to be honest, I've been like working on other stuff, so I haven't really noticed that. And most times, I don't charge my PS Vita that much anyway, so when I do turn it on, it's usually half a battery or whatever, and that's about it. Oh, one other thing I've done to it recently was I painted the back touch panel, as you can see here. Yes, I know it's not the greatest paint job. It could have been better, but I think it's cool because I didn't mask it off that well around the edges. Some of the tape got caught up right there for some reason, and had problems masking that off. And plus, you can still see the base coat under there in certain spots. Well, you're probably wondering, what is this hole about? I was going to add a switch to the PS Vita where you can turn off the motors and stuff and turn it back on, but I hadn't figured out how I was going to do that, and I was in between what type of switch I was going to use and stuff like that, and asking people at my like local electronics stores, since there's no longer a Radio Shack where I live. So it was like, who am I supposed to ask about this stuff unless I go on the internet? So when I was painting this, I painted this in several layers. What's kind of odd about this is that you guys may or may not notice this, but it is really shiny, and it looks like bumps in the paint job. And no, that's not me from sanding it. That's actually the finish. It's supposed to look like that. It's called hammered finish, and the type of paint, I have it right here. As you can see, it kind of matches the shininess and the bumpiness of the finish. And that was my base coat, and then I went over that with red paint. So well, of course I sanded it down first, then went over it with the base hammered finish, because I wanted that to be the undercoat, and you can see that through it. And then I went lightly over with red plastic spray paint. But yeah, during this time when I was doing this, I was in a hurry because it was cold outside, and it was close to night and stuff. You don't want to be spray painting at night with no proper lighting and stuff like that. And I was using the heat gun, the heat in between layers, and that's why you see this piece right here buckled under the heat. But besides that, I can replace that. That's not a big deal. But yeah, everything else seems to function for the most part. turn this back on. And as you can see, the motors and everything still work. I forgot this game loads slow for some reason. But yeah, I'm loading up this game basically to show that, you know, how the motors function in certain games once again. Even though you guys seen it before and anything, some of you may not, so. They really need to patch this, because why the hell does it load so dang long? Ridiculous. But yeah, you know, they say function is when the character jumps. But yeah, just showing the motors working again. If I make any more progress on this, I'll probably make another video. But yeah, that's all I'm really going to say about this so far. I haven't made too much progress besides this because I've been on break, I guess. But yeah, this is a small update on the Psvita Rumble motors mod, and you know, now it's custom painting it too. So, until next time, peace.